Look what I found. A pair of wooden shoes. What people do wooden shoes make you think of?
I agree, the Dutch.
Well, did you know that there were a great many Dutch people among the early settlers of our country? The center of the colony that they started was a little village on Manhattan Island called New Amsterdam. Several years after the first Dutch settlers arrived, a very interesting man was sent from Holland to take charge of or govern New Amsterdam. And I'd like to tell you what happened on the day Peter Stuyvesant sailed into town. On the day Peter Stuyvesant sailed into town, all the people came running to greet him. They shot off a cannon and waited in line so that every last Dutchman could meet him.
My friends, Peter said, it is nice to be here, for my voyage was really a long one. I will rule this new land with a very firm hand, and my government will be a strong one.
Peter Stuyvesant stood with a leg made of wood, and he said,
There is no time to talk now. It's a very fine day, this 11th of May. So I think I will go for a walk now.
And into New Amsterdam Peter did go to see all there was to be seen. But he soon wore a frown as he walked up and down. He discovered that nothing was clean.
The governor slipped in the mud and the mire, and he said, Things are not at all well here. I am standing in garbage right up to my knees, and the air has a very bad smell here. All the houses in town are in need of repair, Peter shouted. I loudly decry it. This whole dirty place is a total disgrace. Good Dutchman, we must beautify it. But the folk of the town went on smoking their pipes, and they said, It is best to ignore him. There will soon come a day he will be on his way, like the men who have governed before him. From Broadway to Wall Street old Stuyvesant stormed. With a tap and a step he kept walking, while some chickens and ducks made a nest in his hat, and some geese on the path made a squawking. Then a goat from behind, in a manner unkind, gave Peter a push on his seat. A cow licked his nose, and some pigs chewed his toes, as poor Stuyvesant sat in the street. This new world is a mess, Peter cried in distress. These animals need gates and fences. Take these birds to a cage, Peter shouted in rage. Oh, good Dutchman, let's come to our senses. As his voice rocked the ground with a great booming sound, like a sky filled with thunder and lightning, those good Dutchmen did shake. They cried, Make no mistake, this man's temper is really quite frightening. While the citizens stood in a trembling group, Peter cried, Here is my proclamation. All you men and you maids, get your brooms and your spades. We must work now without hesitation. So they put up new buildings all sturdy and strong, and they cleaned all the rubbish away. They mended the fences and paved many streets, from the top of the town to the bay. They filled up the holes in the walls of the fort, for the colony needed protection, and the people agreed they were clever to heed Peter Stuyvesant's careful direction. Then, My children, said Peter, we've worked very hard, and I think we deserve relaxation. I feel in the mood for some fun and some food. Let us have a big Dutch celebration.
Each new Amsterdam nose sniffed the smells that arose in delicious fat clouds to the air. Oh, how they gave such delight to each Dutch appetite, all those good things to eat everywhere. That night, Peter Stuyvesant heard a strange sound underneath the round moon brightly gleaming. It swept past his door, a great tumble and roar. But old Stuyvesant knew he was dreaming. Yes, Peter Stuyvesant knew he was dreaming. And that was on the day Peter Stuyvesant sailed into town by Arnold Lobel. Peter had no way of knowing that his dream would someday come true when that little village on Manhattan became the biggest city in the world, New York City. But we must remember that long before the Dutch and the English and other people from Europe began to settle in America, the Indians had lived here for thousands of years. What was happening to them as all these new people arrived? I think perhaps we can find out from this book, Small Wolf by Nathaniel Benchley. Small Wolf lived with his family on the banks of a river. His mother planted corn and did the cooking. His father hunted deer and bears and smaller things to eat. What they didn't eat, they made into clothes. But Small Wolf was too small to go hunting. All he could do was fish from his canoe. After a while, he tired of catching fish. He wanted to hunt for bigger things, so he asked his father to let him try. "All right," his father said. "There is good hunting on the island of hills downriver. Take your canoe and see what luck you have." Small Wolf got in his canoe and went to Manhattan, the island of hills. "If I hunt well here," he thought, "and shoot a lot of deer and bears and foxes and wolves, then I will be a man like my father. I'll be able to wear feathers in my hair and colors on my face." He did not know that to be a man was more than just shooting things. Well, there were other Indians hunting on Manhattan, but Small Wolf wanted to be alone. He saw a path through the woods. He said "Yahoo" a couple of times and set off ready for anything. But he was not ready for what happened next. He came out of the woods and he could not believe what he saw. He saw things he had never seen before. Houses with chimneys and ships with sails and a house with 4 arms that twirled around. And a man whose face was all white. Oh, Small Wolf thought the man was wearing some devil mask. Off a ship came odd animals, horses with manes and tails, cows with horns and black spots, sheep with curled horns and black faces, pigs with curled tails and stubby noses, and they were so big and strange and they made such queer sounds. Small Wolf was afraid. "I did not come to hunt this kind of thing," he said. And he went back till he found his canoe and paddled away from Manhattan as fast as he could. When he got home, he told his father what he'd seen. "I saw a man all painted white." "I know about the white men," said his father. "They came some time ago. They are all right if you leave them alone." "Oh, but then there were animals," said Small Wolf. "You never saw such animals, and they make such funny noises." "That sounds interesting," said his father. I'll come and see." "Interesting," said Small Wolf. "It's terrifying." So they went back to Manhattan. "There," said Small Wolf when they reached the town. "There are the animals. Did you ever see anything like them?" "They are odd," his father agreed. "Let's ask someone and see what we can find out." So they went to a white man who looked startled to see them. He raised his gun and held it ready. "What are those animals for?" Small Wolf's father asked. "They are for the farms," said the white man, "and you'd better get along. This land is ours now. We paid for it." "How can you pay for land?" asked his father. "Can you pay for the sky or the sea?
Whom did you pay for the land? We paid the Indians who were here. Now get going or I'll shoot. You don't have to be afraid, said Small Wolf's father. We were only asking. I said get going, said the white man. So Small Wolf and his father left. What Indians did he pay? Small Wolf asked as they paddled away. The Canarsies, said his father, and they did not even live there. They had no right to sell the land. The land and the sky and the sea are all Mother Earth for everyone to use. But the white men did not see it that way. They put up more houses. Their animals went everywhere and ate the crops the Indians had planted and trampled on their fields. Finally, there were more white men and their animals than there were Indians. The animals that the Indians had hunted were gone. The Indians had a hard time growing crops, and they were hungry. One day, Small Wolf's father made a decision. I shall go and see the leader of the white men, he said. I shall tell him he is spoiling the land, and I shall ask him please to stop. May I come too? Small Wolf asked. Yes, said his father, it is for your good I am asking. So they set off. Before they'd gone very far, they heard shouts and saw men running, and then there was a bang, and something went thunk into a tree behind Small Wolf. In the distance, they heard men shouting, Indians! Indians! Hey, said Small Wolf, what is this all about? I don't know. Stand still and listen. They listened, and they heard more shouts. And then came another bang, and a piece of bark flew off a tree nearby. They're shooting at us, Small Wolf cried. He ducked behind a tree, and his father did the same. It looks that way, his father agreed, but that makes no sense. He raised a hand to his mouth and called, We want to talk. Will your leader come and talk with us? Get out of here, you Indians, a voice shouted. Get back where you belong. And a third bullet snarled past Small Wolf's ear. I guess, his father said, they don't want to talk. We might as well go back. The next day, his father made another decision. There is plenty of land for all, he said. If we can't live here, then we will just go farther up the river. If we go far enough, they will never reach us. So they packed their goods and started off to find a place where the white man would not come. They found a place and settled down, and then one day Small Wolf was hunting. He thought he saw a deer. But it was not a deer. It was a cow. Small Wolf told his father. That means they are here, his father said. We might as well move now before there is any trouble. So off they went again, and again, and again, and again. What happened to Small Wolf and his family happened to a great many Indians as America was being settled by the white man. Was it fair, I wonder, that the Indians had to move? Well, perhaps that's something important for you to think about. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
The preceding program was made possible by a grant from the Ohio Department of Education.